Okay, welcome back to GoodX Web Fundamental Training. We are going to discuss now the receipting part. So after you have done a billing on the patient, you have do your claim administration, send it to the medical aid, do all your corrections that you need to do. Then you have two different type of receipting. You have your patient receipt that pays cash or card or electronic, and also you have your medical aid receipt. And from the medical aid receipt, you have two options. You have your medical aid receipt posted manually, or otherwise you can use the ERA function that most of the medical aids has a ERA function, electronic remittance advice. So they send the electronic remittance advice to GoodX, and we upload it, and then you can just say import. We will go through that process. Then you can just say import, and then it will allocate all the money if it can be allocated. So if all the information is correct, it will allocate everything, and then you can just say post, and you don't have to do everything with the hand. But we're going to come to that. We will discuss that again. Let's do the easy one, and that's the patient receipt. Now let me just go back to the main screen. So we're on the main screen, the diary. We click on the patient's booking. We say receipt. Let me just get another one. I just want to make a booking here. Invoice. Let's choose a patient. We're going to do an invoice. Post. I'm going to do a receipt. So I click on the patient booking. I say receipt. Now you will see it comes automatically in with today's invoice. From here you can type in the date, when did you receive the money. Then you will choose the correct cash book that this transaction must be posted into. Now you have card, electronic, petty cash, bank. Is it cash? Or is it corrections or otherwise check? So we're going to say this patient has paid with a card. And then you have your payment type. So we're going to say this patient has paid with a credit card. You type in a comment. Now this comment also print on your receipt that you can give to the patient. So let's say thank you. Reference number. If you're using the card machine, there is a unique number on your slip that prints out. You can put that unique number here as a reference, or otherwise with cash payments. Also, if you're still using a hard copy cash receipt, then you can type in the receipt number. So any unique number that you can reference back to how that you received the payment, the receipt, and also how anything that you can go back to if you need to. So let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then you type in the amount that you received from the patient. We're going to type in here, we received the full amount for this invoice. We're going to allocate it in here, the patient, 35640. Sorry, 35640. Now the reason why this is not allocated automatically is because the invoice was done on the medical aid side and not on the patient side. So let's make first, before we go on, we switch this to the patient from the medical aid. So say for instance we did make a mistake on the invoicing. For how we did it, we made a mistake when we invoiced the patient and we said now it's a medical aid patient, and we did say post only. We didn't switch it to the medical aid, but still it's lying in the medical aid column for outstanding. Here you can see the medical aid column, and it shows you that it is outstanding with the medical aid. Now if you say switch to patient, then the outstanding amount is going to be switched to the patient side. Now what is nice, it auto-allocates the amount that you have typed in to the correct line items. And you can see here, unallocated is 0 amount. Now we say post. Here on the bottom, you will see that a receipt is downloaded. And here is your receipt. Your logo will be on here with your practice information. You did receive this money and it was paid. You can print it for the patient and give it to the patient. Otherwise, close, and then you go back to the patient's file. I'm going to do another one. Let's just bill the patient again, but bill the patient correctly this time. Let's take this one, save, invoice, okay. This patient we have chosen is linked to an inactive status, so we can't use this patient. Let's try another one. Sorry. Let's take this one, save. Sorry, now I'm clicking on the general examination form. We don't want that one. We want to click on the booking. We want to say receipt. Click on the booking. Then you say invoice, because we didn't have an invoice yet. We're going to type in the ICD-10 code. We're going to plus another line that I can show you a little bit more difficult one. Web call, for instance, and I'm going to add another one, Bernardo, syrup. Okay, and I'm going to mark this one as a private invoice, and then I'm going to say post. If I click now, I say receipt. You'll see immediately it brings up the receipt that is outstanding. Otherwise, if you want to see all the other receipts that is still on the, not receipts, invoices on this account, you can click on the drop down box and you can see the correct invoice number. And then also, if you can say here show all invoices, then everything that was already paid will also be here. And then show selected invoice. If we click on here, show selected invoice, is only going to show you the selected invoices that you have. Okay, then I'm going to say show hide lines. Then it's going to filter all the line items back to the only the header. Now we're going to say, okay, the patient have paid card with a credit card, for instance. We're going to say thank you. Reference number, anything that you can type in. Then we're going to see, okay, it already, because this was today's invoice that was done, it already allocated the amount for us, 365.73. It allocates free to the consultation fee, 1 rand to the web call, and then 21 rand to the Bernardo. Now, say for instance, the patient didn't have enough money with them, then you can type in here the total that you received was only 300 rand, and the system will go and take the 300 rand and allocate it from the top one till the bottom, the oldest to the newest. Okay, and then you just say post. Again, the receipt will be downloaded. Here is the receipt. You can print it for the patient, or otherwise just close and come back to the invoice, the diary. Now from here, if we go to account details, You can see here is the receipt screen, the receipt tab, and here it shows you the receipt that was done on this patient's account. You can see there when was it done, and then the description, how did the patient pay, and then also they paid 300 Rand. Now if you go back, here you can also see the cash flow was 300 Rand, and the outstanding in the patient side is still 65 Rand. Okay. That is your patient receipt. Is there any questions about the patient receipt? Okay, now the other part we are going to do is the medical aid. So if the patient is a medical aid patient, so let's take one of the top ones, and you're using the ERAs. So let's go first. We're going to say admin, and then we're going to say ERA management. Now here will be a lot of ERAs lying. I'm just going to see if I can get it on this one. Unfortunately, I don't have any ERAs that I can show you how it works, because this is not a live system, so we don't have any any ERAs that we can show you. But I'm going to explain to you the process, how it works, and if you struggle, please phone us that we can assist you with that. But you will have a list here that have medical aid ERAs, electronic remittance advices that did come into your practice, and then you will see here it's a payment date, so it will tell you when was it paid, imported or created, when was it created by the medical aid, and then imported or created by, who did import it to your with the next stage. Then we have the status, the type, the total number of payments, and then the total of number of match items. So the total number of payments, say for instance there were 20 patients inside your discovery batch, the total number of payments is going to be there maybe 20 if they did pay all 20 of the accounts. Then the total number of matched items is going to show you, is it 100%, is it, say for instance 90 lines that I could have matched, and then how many unresolved payments is there, so the system couldn't match it. And then you have your progress, and that will show 100%, 89%, 90%, depending on how much lines and how much information the system could match on the ERA against to your patient's account on the system. And then of course the amount paid by the medical aid. Now here on the top we also have the duplicate, if you want to see all the duplicates that came in, the posted ones, also you can see deleted or the imported ones. So you click on the correct tick, and then you say search, and also then you type in certain dates if you want to see certain dates. Okay, and then search again. But unfortunately this is a test system, so we don't have ERAs that we can show you. But then if you click on the ERA, please remember, don't import an ERA if you didn't receive the money yet in your bank account. Now you can click on the ERA, and then you say import the ERA, and then it will take you to the next screen. If there is manual interventions, you will have the option to manual allocate the amounts to the correct account. Otherwise you can just say, if it's 100% allocated already correctly, you can just view it and you can say post. Then the receipt will be done on the patient's side, or on the medical aid side, okay, on the patient's account. Now if you want to create, because not all of the medical aids give ERAs, then you can click on new ERA and you can create your own one from the medical aid. So you type in here the medical aid reference number that you received on the remittance advice, the deposit date, when did they give you the money, and then the medical aid name, say for instance discovery, medical aid reference number, and then you have the deposit amount, how much did they pay into your bank account, and then calculated paid amount assigned. So this will calculate after you have typed in all the information, and then from here there is unresolved payments, short payments, has unlinked. Then you save the current ERA. Okay, unfortunately I can't show you on the system, but then if you put in all the information, you can say save current ERA, and then it will allow you to allocate all of this amount to the correct patients on that medical aid, and then you can say post current ERA. Please, if you struggle with this, phone us immediately that we can assist you, our team viewer, with this, because we don't have play data that I can show you how this is working, and also you can still use the user manuals. Okay, I'm going to say close, and then say close. Let's see if we covered everything. Receipting, patient receipt, medical aid receipt. Is there any other questions that you have that must I show you another patient receipt, or are you happy? Okay, it doesn't look if there are any other questions. We're going to stop this session, and then in the next 5 minutes we're going to start the next section, that is the receipt corrections. It's going to be a really short section because it's really easy to do this, but we will go on in the next 5 minutes with the receipt corrections. We are luckily almost finished. Then we only have 2 sections left. Thank you.